Awesome. Hi, welcome back to the Alice in Videoland podcast, recorded here at Alice in Videoland in Christchurch. As always, I'm joined by my good friend Mr. Peter Tonks, and today very excited to welcome onto the podcast a huge advocate for the New Zealand film industry and a person who has been involved in a number of films that have come through Canterbury recently. It's Bree Loverich. Welcome.
Kia ora.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bree, your first time at Alice, or?
Oh gosh, no.
She's a regular. I've seen her.
Yes, and we used to do lots of events here.
Great.
I was the manager of Screen CanterburyNZ, and and Show Me Shorts and Terrify. Yeah, I mean, I didn't run those, but
but you come along to the films.
Yes, of course.
And Terrify does very well here. Yeah,
it does.
You guys,
very well.
Very well. Tell us about your early days at Alice. Did you go to the original store back in the day, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah, heck yeah. Like we used to really enjoy the fact that that there was curated movies.
Yes.
That you would come here and it wasn't the same as going to any other type of video shop where it was just like all the stuff that was coming out from the main cinemas. Or from the main studios. It was like you could go in and you'd be like, what's that? And what's that? And there was a 10 movie deal. And we would come. It was 5 or 10 or something.
A few people have brought that up. That's still
we'd come in and grab like all these really interesting and offbeat movies and take them home and check them out, and it just had such a cool.
The staff always knew what to recommend, hopefully.
Because we'd be like, we kind of like this or we kind of like that. Oh, you got to check that one out, which is just so different from your online experience or really different from going to a Blockbuster video. Did we have Blockbuster videos?
I think we did have a couple.
We did have Blockbuster,
but they were mainly, it wasn't big like it was in the States.
Yeah. But I mean, they were just run of the mill, right? They didn't have like staff picks. Like I remember the staff picks being like the first place we would go. And then we could ask the staff about, well, what did you think? And it was pretty rad.
It's a lot more personal, eh?
Yeah.
I got put onto quite a few good films back in the day when I first came in. So the old entrance was on the High Street side, right? Yes,
yep.
Is that right? Yeah.
High Street side,
when I first came here,
C1 is now.
Yeah, so same sort of experience. When I first came here, it was on the High Street side where C1 is currently, and I remember coming here as a kid and realising mainly in the UK film, like TV section, they had a lot of these amazing sort of old UK shows like Young Ones and Bottom and these sort of Rick Mail shows and stuff, which just no other stores had. And so
Little Britain.
Yeah, Little Britain, yeah, totally.
Oh, so good.
So for me,
can't even get that shit in America.
Well, it's very hard to find at a New Zealand video store too. So as soon as the first time I came to Alice and realised they had that grand of a selection, I was totally sold on the place. So like, well, if they've got Bottom and Young Ones, then they've got everything else that's good in the world. So, hey, so you've been through the store. You've picked out 10 films.
Yes.
What have you got for us first?
Well, I mean, I thought I could start with my all-time favorite movie.
All-time favorite.
This is my all-time favorite movie. So
Amazing.
I saw it when I was about 19 years old, I think. Didn't even know, never once thought about New Zealand. So it was kind of
So
prophetic.
you saw this over back home in America?
Yeah, back home in America.
Yeah.
Was it big then?
I don't know actually.
Was it a rental? Like you came across it just randomly, or?
At the movies.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
We definitely rented it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about Maori, and I didn't know anything about the landscape of New Zealand. I didn't even know where New Zealand was. I didn't even.
Wow.
Now that I think about it, when I watched the movie, I don't even think I clocked that it was New Zealand.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just this
Another
woman
place.
moving from basically being sold. Like you've got to go. You've got to go over to this crazy ass place and like live with this dude, and you're going to have this marriage with him, and her just being like, oh hell no. Like the will of this woman in the 1800s was just incredible to see a movie that told the story about a woman, having that agency at that time and not choosing who she wanted to be with in the movie, and not really finding love until she had that choice, which is very powerful.
Yeah.
And then fast forward like X number of years forward, and then I'm like, oh, New Zealand, what's that place about? And my friends, because I was living in Japan, and Japan is like really, really rigid. and they're it's not the easiest place to live for a really long time. And so I said to my friends, I'm like, I want to live somewhere that's like chilled out.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, New Zealand, like you should go to New Zealand.
Nice.
Really?
And I was like, oh, cool. And then a little while later, it clocked that New Zealand was
from there, and you
the
were sold.
movie of my absolute all-time
that's
favorite
so cool.
film.
What a sign.
You were meant to, you were meant to come here.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I said. It was
so cool.
prophetic.
Yeah. How long you been here now, then?
I've been here since 2006, so almost 20 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool. Nice.
Yeah.
It is. It's a beautiful film. I've seen it twice. Once when I was a kid, I bought a box set of New Zealand films on DVD. It came in this beautiful cardboard case. That was included, and I was just having an absolute buzz on New Zealand films at the time. I still am, still love them. And watched it. Didn't have as much of appreciation for it as I do now. I found it a little bit slow and boring. I was very young. Re-watched it 2 years ago, and it blew me away. Such a good film. I remembered sort of key sequences and moments, but the overall sort of storytelling, the way they told the story, it's so good. And Holly Hunter's performance is just incredible.
Well,
and Hannah Paquin.
Paquin.
I know. She's what a legend, eh? Like, yeah. No, she's so cool.
Incredible.
Yeah.
What did you think of? What did you think of Jane Campion's most recent film?
I haven't seen it. What's her most recent one?
Power of the Dog.
Yeah, Power of the
No,
Dog.
I thought she'd done one since. She's got one coming out soon, I think.
She's literally my favourite director. She's the best.
Did you like Power of the Dog?
I did.
Yeah.
But it's.
I think it's an acquired taste.
It's acquired taste, but
Yeah.
her directing is she's sublime. She's like a master.
I mean, it was
That's me.
beautiful. Just Kirsten Dunst.
Photography was beautiful. Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst, is that how you say her name?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like her in that movie. What did you think of her performance?
Oh yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
Hard to say.
Oh
Hard to
yeah.
say.
Yeah,
I mean,
nah.
I didn't mind her. I didn't mind her.
She's on screen with
I
Jesse
didn't mind- she
Plemons
wasn't-
and
I remember she
Stop
wasn't.
freaking out, bitch.
She wasn't like she was in Spider-Man. You know.
Yeah. She was a bit of a nah for me. Like, it just, sometimes like one actor can really, I'm like, stop overacting, please. But the rest of the movie was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it was.
yeah, I've only heard
Yeah.
really good things about that film.
You
Actually.
met Jane? Camping? I haven't.
I have met Jane,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
So I was invited by the New Zealand Film Commission to see it was the New Zealand premiere of the War
Awesome.
Rohirrim, the animated feature,
cool, yes,
the latest
nice.
installment of a Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Lord of the Rings piece, and so I got to go to flew up to Auckland and went to the theater to see it with the folks that were in the movie, and then we went to Hobbiton.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Nice.
had this massive party at Hobbiton. So we went, it was like a party that traveled around Hobbiton. So you
Awesome.
did like a tour of Hobbiton, and then you went to the Green Lantern bar,
Nice.
and out in front of that they had the red carpet
Oh, that's so cool.
with the
Awesome.
backdrop, and all the stars were there. And then they did a pohiri before the stars came in, and then you moved up a higher piece, and then there was a market where you could get more food.
Cool, that's awesome.
And then there was then they had like a DJ played, and it was so cool. And I
cool.
was
That's awesome.
so chuffed
And
I got
Jane was
invited to
there,
go.
or?
Sorry, Jane was there, and so I got to say hi to Jane,
That's so
and I got
cool.
to tell her I was so stupid and fangirled on her, and I was like, "Hi, Jane. The piano is my favorite movie of all time. Thank you for making that."
What you say that she go?
But Kristen Dunst in the Power of the Dog, no. Should cut that one
Did she
down.
give you a cuddle or anything? Or no?
No,
Or
I just shook her hand.
Would you fangirl around Jane Campion?
I do. I'm a bit of a. I think literally thinks she's a master. She's the best
Yeah.
director.
Do you ever get starstruck? Do you ever?
No, I have, but I did meet Jane. She was at the Wellington Film Festival once when Bright Star, I think she was releasing, and she came and talked to that. I only met her briefly, but yeah, no, she's a master. Like Power of Portrait of a Lady. You seen that one? I think that's a masterpiece.
So good.
It's literally a masterpiece. That film.
Yeah.
It's
I
up there
really
with,
like films with very strong female characters.
Sure.
Crazy thing! Wild!
War
Wild! Why would you like a film with
War of the Rohirrim was another film with a lead
true,
female character who kicks
yeah.
ass. Yeah, it was a very good film.
And it was incredible in terms of the different styles of animation that
I
were
thought it worked.
comped on
I
top
thought it was
of
cool.
each other.
Yeah, I thought it was
like
beautiful.
you had like your anime, and then you had some traditional kind of environment
some of those establishing shots, the environment, they could have been taken out of a Peter Jackson live action film. I thought they were they were that sharp and clear. It was
they
actually
were more hyper realistic.
Yeah.
Than what was comped on top in terms of the more anime. It
was a fun
so
film.
it was a very different look and feel.
Yeah.
To something you'd seen before, which was a testament to the fact that the vast majority of the animation team was in Japan.
Yes.
And then there were all of the the music and the production, the voice actors were all coming from New Zealand or global, and so it was a real amalgamation of all of these different cultures and a true co-production. That was just absolutely fascinating.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know actually.
Yeah, Pete executive produced, I think it was, and Philippa wrote the scroll. Was part of the writing team. Yeah. So she was sort of the connection of those three.
I just thought it was cool. The main actor from Succession was there.
Really?
Yeah, the older guy. He plays the. I can't remember what his name is. What is his name?
Is it Brian Cox? Or?
Brian Cox.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's one of the voices in the.
He's probably the most badass male character in the film. Helm Hammerhand. That's
right.
He's great.
He was there. He was at because they had all the American actors flew in because it was the world premiere at Hobbiton.
Right.
So. He's popped up in quite a few films I've watched lately, just randomly.
He's a badass.
This guy proposed to his wife at Hobbiton.
Yes, I got engaged at Hobbiton.
Oh
Yeah. I've been there 2 or 3 times now. Love it.
That is so cool.
I love that place.
That place is so interesting, and I just can't believe the numbers they put through there.
Oh, totally.
It's like an hour outside of anywhere, and
who would have thought 24 years, 25 years later they're going to go and do a spin-off film? Like crazy. They're going to go back there. Who would have thought?
Wait, I thought it was Gollum though.
Yeah, it is.
They're going to film that there?
They did a recce to Hobbiton. They did a recce to Hobbiton. Yeah. So there was a photo that was put up of the group of them all there, and it's like, why else would they be there?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, maybe it was just a wee publicity hype.
Well, then again, Gollum started off as a hobbit, so that makes complete sense.
The story does begin. I don't want to get too much into Lord of the. I could talk about this all night, but I've been doing research on it. The story does begin.
I didn't pick any Lord of the Rings ones.
God damn it! We're going to change one. No, they do start the story at Hobbiton, so it's all pretty much from when Gandalf leaves and then comes back. Yeah. In the film, it appears as though it's a couple of weeks, and in the books, it's like 17, 18 years.
Right. Yeah. Funny that.
I know.
Funny. Oh, you've got 4 hours to tell it. 4 hours. I only got 4 hours to tell the movie or tell the story.
I don't know if
Other people only get an hour and a half.
I don't know if he's still with it, but Bree, who was one of the same name as you. I think it is. He was one of the True. It was True. Sorry, apologise. But he was one of the greensmen on Lord of the Rings, the main shoot. So, and he was looking after Hobbiton. Has been for years. I presume he's still there.
Oh wow,
so
cool.
They got the guy there who's the master.
That's so cool. Yeah, the real deal. Oh, wicked.
If he's still there.
Pete, you would have seen this when it came out in cinemas, and
oh yeah, I loved it. Yep. And back to Jane Campion. What about Bright Star? You like Bright Star's my favourite.
I haven't seen Bright Star. When did that come out?
It was after Portrait of a Lady, after Piano, probably around before the last one that you didn't like as much, and after Holy Smoke, I think. But yeah, it's about Keats, a little story about Keats, and it has a little New Zealand connection, but not in the backstory. But yeah, lovely film.
Nice.
Get that one out.
Last question for you, Bree. Favourite scene in the piano?
Ooh, okay.
Oh goodness. Favorite scene in the piano? Oh my god. Well, that's a really hard question.
Maybe just some key scenes that stand out to you.
I think one of the things that stood out to me the most about the movie, aside from the visual, just the incredible visuals, is the music.
Yeah, totally.
And so
incredible
the music
soundtrack.
is haunting.
Yes.
And I remember this is one of those movies that you watched it and it stayed with you for days. And then I rushed out to get the soundtrack, and then listened to the soundtrack obsessively.
Wow. Yeah.
And I can hear every song in the soundtrack in my head at any moment's notice.
Amazing.
I can draw it up in my mind. So the visual and the audio in this movie comes together in
I completely agree.
Unbelievable way.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, I guess when he chops off her finger, that's pretty. Yeah. That's probably the one that stands out the most. Yeah. And the fact that the daughter betrayed her.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, in that, you know, that the daughter is the one that told the man that, you know, that told the husband. And that whole scene is just wow. And if you want to talk about this woman is never gonna sleep with you again, dude. Chopping off a woman's finger. That's one way to never get any. That's probably my
Very
most powerful
good.
scene.
No, love it. Awesome. And a fantastic first pick. Very good.
Hell, man. Yeah, that was podcast.
There we go.
Let me put that down here for you.
So moving through time.
Yeah. Next on the list, what have you got for us?
Well, The Matrix.
Oh my gosh, legendary.
I mean, I've been thinking a lot about The Matrix recently, just with AI.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, and you just start really thinking about that whole kind of brain in a vat. Like, what happens if our brains are actually just in vats, and everything around us is just an illusion?
Well, isn't that's been going around all the podcasts, isn't it? That people are going, we're in a
simulation.
Simulation, yeah. That's like it's becoming trendy again. I've noticed.
Well, have you seen this? Some people on podcasts are trying to say that they've woken up their AI. Have you run across
I haven't seen that one
No.
yet, no, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm like, okay, AI is God. And then I'm like turning it on, and this person's like, this is how you wake up your AI. And it gives you like a step-by-step process for how you get your AI
We should find the link and put it on.
how you get your AI to become sentient. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess we could have known that was going to happen. But yeah, and the other thing I've been thinking a lot about is like this kind of post-truth space that we're in. Like this is about illusion, reality and illusion. And once we stop being able to connect on some kind of similar plane, like do we all agree that that's red? I mean, we're like kind of getting there where that doesn't exist anymore. And so the Matrix becomes even more even more relevant in the sense that what is the difference between illusion and reality, and what if your reality is different from my reality, and how do we even still have a conversation when we're using the same words and they mean totally different things?
Yes.
And that's just like, like trying to watch all this stuff about what's going on all over the world and all the different ways that people are twisting facts. You're like, fuck, man, it's the Matrix!
Well,
It's the Matrix!
We kind of all live in different universes anyway, don't we? All our lives are different anyway.
We all
so it's
perceive
kind
stuff
of-
slightly differently, and I guess when we find people who sort of perceive stuff in a similar way to us, we tend to gravitate towards them. That's why film people are all
Kiwis stick together.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Just that's. But that film definitely started a conversation and got people thinking and talking. I mean, the film came out in 1999.
90s.
Yeah, 1999, and it's like it is like the one of the quintessential 90s films.
movies.
Bullet time, like digital special effects. It was just.
No, but also you're in charge of the digital. What's your job again now? You got a new.
So I'm the executive director of the Visual Effects Professionals Guild of Aotearoa, New Zealand.
This must come up quite a bit then, this film, does it? Or is it part of the inspiration for that?
No, I mean, we talk a lot more about the visual effects that were done in New Zealand.
Yes,
and the productions that were done in New Zealand. So this one doesn't come up that much because none of the work was done here.
Right. Yep.
But the thing that's so interesting about watching movies with tons and tons of visual effects is that at the end of the movie, when you watch the credits roll,
So much of the movie.
the sheer number of people that work.
The majority.
It's like it just goes and
Big
goes
blocks,
and goes, and it's
different-
like Frame Store and Weta FX and ILM, and you're just like, oh my god, there were like 7 production
Different
or 7
companies doing
different.
different
Oh, and different
VFX
units as well, like
companies,
Japan,
yes. Globally.
Canada, New Zealand,
You're like, wow, that's a lot of VFX people. And then we have to watch, as working with the VFX industry, we have to watch all of this stuff coming out. Like F1 would be a good example, or Mission Impossible, or let me think of another one where they say that everything is in camera.
Right.
And they by focusing on everything being in camera, they discount the work of the visual effects artist. So the purpose of saying it's in camera is to not discount the work of the actors and the stunt people.
Yes.
But then
because
they're disrespecting the
disrespecting the visual artist.
Yeah.
So yes, there was a lot of stunt work done on Mission Impossible. Yes, Tom Cruise does a lot of stunts, or Maverick is the other one that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, those like there might be images of a jet plane, but the rest of them are CG.
Yes, yeah.
And the fact that you can't tell, it means that is some fucking good
yeah,
VFX.
that means the job is done.
So invisible CGI means like really good VFX, you know.
Which seems to, always, I sort of find the best CGI seems to be done in conjunction with practical, you know, like that, and that's where like things like Lord of the Rings, most of Nolan's movies, they all sort
But
of...
I mean, all good filmmaking is done when you mix the tools.
Yes,
right?
yeah, totally,
So you've
absolutely.
got VP's got its quality, VP's got its, virtual production has got the things that make that really work, and you mix that with practical effects, and you mix that with in-camera, and you mix that with your VFX, and that's how you get that model. Like look at, Stranger Things, when the monster comes out, people are like, oh no, it's all practical, oh no, it's all VFX, and it's like, no, actually the thing that made it really, really good is that the practical effects department worked really closely with the VFX department to ensure that the director's vision and its complete authenticity was carried forward by both techniques and technologies.
Now New Zealand is when you see all these big blockbuster films, Weta and different New Zealand companies are doing. They often appear in these films, like heaps of them, don't they?
My God, yeah.
The majority of them, I'd say,
New Zealand is behind some of the highest grossing films ever made, New Zealand's VFX industry. So, and there's so many movies that people wouldn't even realize.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool versus Wolverine, FX worked on that. Yeah. And you wouldn't even know, because it isn't something, we make films here. If you pay attention to the credits,
Yeah, that's impressive. So this film for me, like I remember 1999, I was at primary school and everyone was talking about the film. I'd seen clips and bits and pieces from it, but it wasn't until I was a teenager that I watched it, and I just loved it. When it came out, it was in the cinema for 6 months, which was a bit of a record at the time. In fact, it might have been 12 months. I'm sure it was 12 months actually. It had a ridiculously, it broke records for the cinema run because people just kept going to see it. It was like insane.
It's one of those films
wait a minute. Was this, so I forgot about that. So they used to play movies in the cinema until people stopped going to them.
Yeah.
And now they only play them for a really short period of time, and then they go...
and then they'll get released on...
Usually because
why do they do that?
Well, because of pirating. So by the time a film's already been out for X amount of time, a screener copy has normally been released, and then by that point it's online and people.
Stinks.
But certain films that do very well will have longer runs. They will have extended runs. So things like probably the later ones like Oppenheimer and the Barbie film, they did incredibly well. Yeah. And so their runs were extended.
You mean Barbenheimer?
Barbenheimer went on for ages. But sometimes there'll be a film that comes out like Parasite or something, and that becomes, everyone talks about it, and it becomes a bit of an awards favourite and stuff, and they do end up getting really sort of good longer runs, and there's a bit more demand behind it. But Matrix broke records, and that was like...
Well, I'm going to butt in. Look at this film here, 13th Floor. This is one that someone told me once, if you like Matrix, you'll love this film. It didn't do that well at the time, I don't think. It was done before this one. Similar plot.
You've recommended this to me. It looks great.
It's a great film, Similar, going into a digital world.
Awesome.
Worth a look if you love that.
Cool.
But I mean, also it's got a bit of that, both of these films. So that one's called what again?
13th Floor.
The 13th Floor also have that, it's got that virtual reality, the concept of interacting with content in another, like putting on glasses or stepping into a virtual world and having a different experience, and how real that may or may not be at some point, and how we might consume content in the virtual world.
Yeah.
Which is the other thing that the Matrix, people at the time that this came out, nobody thought about the metaverse. Nobody thought about putting on a headset and jumping into another world and having a different avatar, and that avatar having a different way of dressing and looking different and being completely different way of expressing yourself in that other world. And I remember that, thinking about that now and being like, oh, that's so meta, oh, that's so Matrix.
Love it. Fantastic film. Awesome pick. Very good. All right. Next on the list?
Well, next on the list, I think is it's a post, what is it? We're late stage capitalism pick. Mm-hmm. which I think is really appropriate considering we've got some other stuff in here about, our favorite character in the world named Trump. what might be happening in the world when all the Richie Richters suck all the capital out of it. And I love this movie because it really asks the question about who the parasites really are.
Yeah, totally. It was a great film. I really enjoyed it. Did very well when this film came out. It was fantastic. Won a whole bunch of awards. Clean sweep from
Well, I
memory.
mean, it won an Academy Award. It was one of the first, or one
Korean,
of the few foreign films to win Best Picture,
I
wasn't
won
it?
the best one. I didn't
Yeah,
realise
I'm
that.
pretty sure.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I think it was up against Joker. I think it was the same year Joker was up for the best film award, and this one won. It was up against. It had some crazy competition, and that was probably why it was so well recognised. Is because a lot of people didn't. Well, I'm sure a lot of people thought it was going to win, but the competition it was up against was huge. I'm trying to remember what other films there were. I'm sure it was Joker and a couple of other massive films. It might have been Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was one of the other ones. But yeah, and then
that was pretty good. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
it was incredible. And then when this won, I thought, well, I got to see that, and watched it. And
Exactly.
It was cool. Yeah, and yeah. So,
I remember when it won an Academy Award, I was like, I have got to see that film.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
And then I watched it, and I just remember, I can't remember all the thoughts I had at the time that I watched it, but I remember being like, it was very powerful.
yeah.
Like
It's a cool film.
the way that they had tried to get the social narrative across of what's happening in the world, with so much wealth being accumulated in one spot, and
Yes.
and so many people having nothing, and people considering the people who have nothing as the parasites. That, and it's like, well, and blaming them for having nothing. When it's like, actually, the system's fucking rigged. Oh, sorry, I keep saying the F word. I'm not supposed to swear.
No,
Can I swear in your podcast?
Yeah, of
course
course.
you
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Say whatever you want.
We'll wait till we get in trouble, then we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Unfiltered.
You'll bleep it out.
We ain't got the budget for that. So it's
Yeah.
Pete, thoughts on Parasite?
Oh yeah, no, it's a great film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, yeah.
Cool.
No.
It would have done well here. This.
Oh yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I saw it here,
No,
actually.
it played for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When-
that was another one that I remember being in cinemas for a long time. It did, yeah, and again probably because of that award nod, and then
Yeah,
of course
yeah.
people went and saw it, and it did actually live up to the hype. So
Well, that's the thing, right?
yeah.
Like, they went and saw it, and then you went, Like, it's one of those
Yeah,
movies you
yeah.
go,
oh yeah,
oh, really? But I think the other
yeah.
part that was so interesting about it is that people don't actually know a lot about Korea. So we probably know a little bit more about Japan, or we might know a bit more about China. But I think Korea is a country that we just don't see enough
Yeah.
on television. I mean, I know Korea is actually one of the top film producing countries in the world.
yeah, and they're pumping out some great stuff in the last few years. Yeah, like it's
It makes movies that are that are world famous in China and Japan.
Yeah.
and they are the movie hub, kind of one of the movie hubs of that kind of region.
Yeah.
But we don't see a lot of that. And so to see their lives and stuff, I think was another part that was so interesting about it, was to see the
totally.
like 6 people living in this tiny little
Yeah.
thing, and then the toilet was like
Yeah.
just up just a little bit above the kitchen.
Yeah.
The toilet, and
But if
I think they're
when you
going
go
to the
Asia, though-
bathroom.
when you go to Asia, though, it's like that, isn't it? I was just in Vietnam recently, and all the houses were kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's another level of living on top of each other.
Yeah, I loved all those scenes,
Yeah.
and the way they shot it. It felt quite claustrophobic and stuff. It was
Yeah.
really, really well shot. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a beautiful, beautiful film. Yeah. Great pick, fantastic. All right, next on the list.
Well, I mean, I think
Jump forward here.
Yeah, jump
should
forward.
we
pick
jump
something out.
forward?
Yeah,
or
go
go
for
back?
it.
Okay,
Totally.
so The Substance.
Which is similar vibe to that one, isn't it? Really?
I was going to say
Parasite.
it, actually. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, maybe not. No. Maybe the next one. Maybe closer to the next one. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So, I mean, The Substance, I think from social commentary about class, definitely from the perspective that only certain classes of people can never age.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of what society says, I mean, just, you look at female actresses, for example, they if there's a casting for a 50-year-old woman or for a 40-year-old woman, they're casting women in their 30s. So if you're an older woman in the acting environment, unless you're going to pump all kinds of stuff through your face, you're kind of, you don't have as much work opportunities because the male actors are like in their 50s and 60s and they're like, yeah, they look good. And then like the women have to be in their 20s and 30s. And so for a woman in the media industry, the time that woman is successful as an actress is quite a lot shorter. And then obviously there's all the pay issues around the fact that women don't make as much money as actresses as men do, blah, blah, blah. But no, I mean, just what an insane smorgasbord of chaos.
And it just builds and builds and just it gets freaking crazy.
I didn't quite get the ending at all, but I think the filmmaker was trying to use all her favourite films and throw them into her film, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because you had that real Kubrick sort of feel, and then you had what else was there? Can't remember now.
We had a good sort of debrief about it after I watched it, and
that French New Wave feels, maybe that
there were a lot of we felt there were a lot of sort of similarities to other films.
Okay.
And then with Carrie and all that, all the blood stuff.
Carrie, right. Where there's a woman up on stage, and
I kind of felt like she'd gone, these great films, and she's trying to make
maybe went a little bit too overboard.
I could be wrong.
I don't think it was too overboard. I thought it worked. I personally thought it worked. I liked it. I thought it
got overboard, but that's all right. It was still good though.
I thought the end was a bit overboard.
See, for me,
with you on that one.
For me, it was kind of cool because I quite like films that are very strange and unique, and I like when they sometimes, and I've talked about it on this before, where sometimes you'll be watching a film, you want it to go in a certain direction, and sometimes it does, and when that happens, it can be very rewarding. And that film, I kind of wanted it as I was watching it to get a little bit crazier. And with every scene, it just does. And they just gave you what you wanted. They just step it up. It did. It gave me what I wanted. And honestly, I wanted things to happen. I don't want to spoil the film too much, but I wanted the drug to be abused so that we can see what happens when you do that and what sort of deformities can come from that. And holy shit, do we find out?
Yeah.
And it was just awesome. It answered a lot of questions that I had about how does the substance work and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like they went there. And for me, it was a really rewarding film because I didn't watch any trailers going into it. I had no idea what I was going into. All I knew was that it was a de-aging movie starring Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. Holy hell, that's one of the best films.
And body horror.
That's one of the best films I've ever seen.
Actually, I'll tell you what.
Body horror.
Loved it,
I saw another film at the similar time, a Kiwi film. It hasn't come out yet, or Grafted. Did you get a chance to see that one? It's being a similar sort of vein.
So Grafted
has... body horror.
Yes, and Grafted has released. And it did, no, I haven't seen it. I really, really want to, though. A couple of my friends worked on it, and cool. they did really well at the festival and stuff. It did, I think, I think Terrify might have done some screenings for
Auckland, shot in Auckland. Jeanette McDonald's got a nice little cameo.
Oh, yeah.
I think Muzza produced it.
Similar, Muzza did it, and similar sort of warping thing at the end. I don't want to give away the end, so I shouldn't.
That is hard to not give any of the giveaway.
It doesn't matter too much. It doesn't matter too much. We've had people start their talk about the films with spoilers, so that's fine.
I mean, my partner and I often talk about like what folks that feel the pressure, women that feel the pressure to continue to de-age, as you say, and then how they end up, and then so the woman who ages ends up looking a bit like a monster according to those standards. Then the woman who doesn't age, because they've pumped their faces, if they end up looking like a monster. And then both, you see these things like, what happened to this beauty now? On Facebook, and it's like, they got older? Like, it happens to the best of us.
Look at Demi Moore. Demi Moore does still look amazing.
She looks incredible. She
looks incredible. Because she's pumped all this, she's done all the things.
You reckon she has? I didn't know whether she had or not.
Of course she has. She's like 70 years old or something. You don't look like you're 20 when you're 70.
Normally they start blowing out, like McDonald's starting to do now, which looks a bit odd. But she didn't.
But that's that monstrosity. That's that thing of like just going. That's what the movie's about, is that you're trying so hard to like maintain this thing that you just end up turning yourself into a monster.
We didn't mention McDonald doesn't see this film. She might be.
No, so I mean, fantastic body horror. How else are you supposed to get into, if you don't feel that yourself, how else are you supposed to get into the shoes of somebody that feels so compelled to turn themselves into a monster? Than by watching them turn themselves in, and all those the like, because you're just constantly like,
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it was a very late screening I went to when I saw this in Wellington, and there weren't too many people in the cinema, and there were quite a few quite a few bits, and I was sort of sitting near the front, but I could definitely hear a few oohs and ahs down the back.
I mean, and that's just I think that's just such a huge part of that genre, is that ability to take you out of whatever it is that you think and believe and feel and put you in the shoes of somebody else. My other favorite horror is Them. So have you seen Them? I think it's a TV series.
Yeah.
And it's about an African-American couple that moved to Compton in the 1950s. So if you can imagine how horrific that would be, to be the first Black couple to move into a white neighborhood in the 1950s in Compton, Los Angeles, and the horror that they would have experienced with the neighbors being like, we don't want you here, and then that set against a backdrop of obviously ghosts and stuff in the house terrorizing the family.
Cool, yeah.
And the whole time you're just on edge, and you're feeling, so it's bringing out this emotional experience in you, which is not your experience of that family. And then you associate that with, that's the only way you're ever going to associate that with how horrible that would have been to have been in that situation. Them.
That sounds
so good.
Sounds cool. Yeah. Interesting.
It's a TV series,
okay.
and I think it's on Prime.
Oh, is it a new one?
I think it's Prime. Okay. It's all within the last five years or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, very good.
What next? That's great.
Oh, Poor Things.
Yes.
So on
cool.
my feminist rant.
That's great. They're all good, awesome films.
I told you it's a bit of a
and
feminist.
I've seen them all. It's great. I've seen most of them here.
I mean, this movie to me is the I am a woman with ADHD manifesto. Like I watched this movie and I was like, that woman is me. And I just could, like, she just does whatever the heck she wants to do.
Yeah.
And she can do anything.
Yeah.
And well, she can't. I mean, she's
well, she kind of does.
She's from the 1800s, but she does, but she doesn't, right? Like
true.
You can just see like what other people, if you're like one of these people who just wants to, walk your own path. And, folks who are neurodiverse like me, sometimes you just can't help. Filter, none, no filter. This woman has no filter. And she literally just, she's, discovering herself. She's an infant.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Yep.
In a woman's body, and doesn't have any sense of social decorum.
Yeah.
And it's totally what it is like to have no filter, to not be born with this constant concern over what people think, and to stumble through life doing everything the way you want to do it, and how odd that must look to everybody else watching you.
Yes.
I mean, obviously I wasn't a prostitute. I'm not saying that, but she just does. She's like, well, I needed to make money. So, nobody else was giving me a job. But I mean, wow, what a visual feast.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a real fun watch, Like it was like very pleasing to the eyes to watch that film. It was a visual feast.
A visual feast.
Yeah, I watched it here, and it was another just surprising one, similar to Substance. Like it just sort of kept giving, and same thing. Like, as I was watching it, I thought it'd be good if it was a little bit funnier, and then boom, it just got funnier.
Yeah,
and then
really
it just
cheeky.
got weirder. But Mark Ruffalo as well. I mean, like totally. What's her name? Emma Stone. Emma Stone's the show stealer. Mark Ruffalo is awesome. He's so funny.
3
in
films
it too.
you've chosen that they just go on and on. Yeah, they're outright, over the top.
And they just sort of build and build. Yeah.
I went to the cinema. I saw that in the cinema 3 times.
Wow.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I went 3 times. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop wanting to see it again and see more, you know,
Yeah,
just wanting
yeah.
her story to go on.
Totally.
And oh my God, that dance scene.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
where
so
they're
cool.
dancing.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And he's just like, you know, trying to get her to dance the way he
Oh.
wants her to dance, and she's like, nah. She just, oh my God, it
But that was
so
just
good.
a fun watch, just the acting and everything,
The
and the
acting
set
was
designs. And I didn't any part of me got sick of the fisheye lens shots as well.
No.
Like, I thought, because someone said, oh, it's annoying. They use fisheye lens the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was genius. It was just really, really cool and unique, and yeah, brilliant film. I watched it here and it was awesome. Pete, you liked it?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did you think, like, what were you expecting? Because it's one of those movies where you don't exactly know what to expect.
Nah.
But then you're sitting there and you're just like, what the hell is going on? You know?
I think you read it better than me, but it was that Frankenstein part of it that I enjoyed. I always loved Frankenstein type films.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was just a child with her, she just wanted to do whatever she wanted. I love
Yeah.
that, you know.
And
Yeah.
because of that, there was like a lot of questions. Like one of those films where there's certain scenes where you almost feel a bit guilty for laughing because it's like it's actually quite fucked up, but it is.
Yeah.
But it is comedic. And then
Yeah.
like again, if you look at it from a sort of an outside deeper perspective or whatever about her having that mind of a child with all like the intercourse and everything that's going on, it's quite messed up. But like I don't know, it works. It keeps you thinking. It was a very fun film, very funny film. Sad at times, but
Yeah.
You're making me think this should go in the top 500, actually. This
well,
This is definitely one of the best films I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So
Like,
nothing struck me like the piano until I saw that one.
you know, I bought this in
okay.
the States just so I could get a copy. I have it in my collection. Like that's how much I like that film. That's great. Did you see his follow-up film that he did? Well, it came out like less than a year later.
Yeah, it came
Kinds
out
of
really
Kindness.
fast. I haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it. Yeah, it was fucking weird, but Emma
Don't
Stone.
go to ruin this one. No.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Poor Things, but Emma
Yeah.
Stone is awesome in it, and there's another really good dancing scene that Emma Stone does. where
God,
she's,
the dancing
she's
scene.
busting out this awesome impromptu dance, which I heard was just her, just kind of, just making it up as she went.
She
yeah, it's great.
is a
Yeah,
master.
she's so cool. She's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. Emma Stone's great.
Nobody else could have done that.
Nah, she
There's
just.
no other actress that could have done that.
Nah, you watch it, and that is definitely one of the Emma Stone performances that sticks out for me. That's just so her. It's she just nails it. So good. Yeah.
Right, next.
Woo!
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
The Apprentice. Oh, straighten that up.
Sorry.
Don't offend him. Don't offend the Trump.
I mean, like I said, you know, my partner and I have been watching this enigma for 10 years and just watching it evolve with horror. For us it's like The Substance.
Is he American too, or just?
No, my partner's a Kiwi.
okay.
Cool.
But we, I mean, like during COVID, we watched the America show. It was literally just turned on the news
Yeah.
and watched America.
There was nothing more entertaining.
It is so entertaining.
Except for maybe Tiger King.
The news is the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even now it's the best. I do quite like the way they used The Apprentice, his show, and then told the story.
Yeah.
I thought that worked quite well.
Well, because the Apprentice as a show and Donald Trump as a man he's a product, just like, you know, Christina Aguilera or Britney Spears. He's been manufactured, and he went from being involved in building things to just putting his name on things and being a brand.
Yes.
And then the brand, because he was not seen as some kind of business tycoon before The Apprentice, because there were so many failures in his business empire. But The Apprentice saw this person who had this interesting character, which is what reality television is. Like, how can we get these really outlandish, weird people and put them on camera and people just can't get enough of it?
Yeah.
And they built the brand that Donald Trump is this astute businessman via a reality TV show, and other people, a lot of people, believe that he is successful because of his own capability.
Did he actually? Was it his idea? The show? I think I didn't.
No, he was approached. That was produced, and that put him in the psyche of the Americans as this awesome businessman, and there's a lot of evidence to the contrary, but because he was a television star, people have a hard time seeing any difference, and then just watching that personality, which is a TV personality or a reality television personality, influencer personality, really, take over the government. Yeah.
First time.
Well, the first time there were a lot of guardrails in place because there were a lot of.
No, but the fact that he won and he didn't have any experience in.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he was going to win. He was I'll
give it a go.
Oh shit!
I won this thing. No,
and but the second time that he's now the second presidency, they've obviously figured out how to remove barriers. Like remove that.
Getting on with stuff. Yeah.
Whoa!
But the one thing when he first won, I thought they made a point. He's the most famous person. Well, this thing I saw said he was the most famous person of all time, and I was sitting there and I was thinking, fuck, they're probably right. Like everyone knows who.
Let's say.
I mean, the other night. No, but I just thought, well, it's pretty crazy that's the case. But I thought about it and I thought, actually, he probably is. Because, like the other night on the
he would
news,
be one of the most recognizable
people.
people.
The other night on the news, there was 3 stories on him on the flipping 6 o'clock news.
Oh my gosh. It just
every
every
show, it's like, I'm thinking, man, this guy he's everywhere.
Yeah, my YouTube feed is like every other video is something about Donald Trump and something he said or something he did. And it's just like, and we just watch it and we're just like, oh my God, it's a shock factor. I'm like watching my home country just like as a reality television show.
Yeah, it is.
All the people in the cabinet, like Tulsi Gabbard, she looks like Storm from the Marvel comics. And then they've got Immigration Barbie, and she's like, ooh, she looks like a Barbie. And I'm just like, where do these people come from? They're like social media.
It's just a show, It's crazy.
A show.
Yeah. And it's entertaining as
hell.
TV.
Well, I mean, he's carrying on with the reality television show.
But how good is Sebastian Stan in the film as Trump? Like he nails it. It's a really good film.
Good.
The set design and the way it was shot, it really does capture that sort of that 70s, 80s kind of feel. Like it's a really cool film.
And what is the name? What's the name of the actor that plays his mentor?
Yeah, Jeremy someone, isn't it? Is it
Jeremy Strong? I think it is Jeremy Strong.
He's a lawyer.
I mean, he is outstanding.
He's the star of the show, isn't he?
And
Ray Cohen. Ray Cohen.
And learning more about, I think, that what role the legal bodies play.
Yes. Yeah.
In influencing people, but also influencing the way that things end up. You're just like, wow, these lawyers have a lot of control.
Yeah. So cutthroat,
The amount of money they spend on lawyers in America, even today, is insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Trump suing them for like 16 million, and they're suing Trump for, for 16 million. It's like insane. It's like, and the lawyers are making all the money.
It just gets just stupid. Like I think he talked about suing. I think he talked. What was it? He's going to sue South Park for like $1 billion or something.
How many people said they're going to sue South Park? Go for it.
6 months ago, when the fires were in LA, I was watching Michael is a reporter guy who's reporting on the LA fires, and he went along to the county council there, and they were having meetings about the fires. They were having a meeting while the fires were happening about suing Trump.
Oh my God.
For saying something. And he says, I walked in on this meeting and that's what they were doing. And I thought, this is insane. They got the place burning and they're worried about suing Trump. I thought it was insane.
It's a very, I mean, that to me is, the late stage capitalism.
Yeah, no, totally.
Like,
It is.
or idiocracy. My partner and I talk a lot about idiocracy these days, where we're just like, wow, I mean, when it's gone so far outside of the realm of any kind of normality and it's almost just shock factor, constant shock factor.
Yeah.
That you're like, and what? Is this just about ratings and clickbait? Like, is this the clickbait president?
I think it's deflection, isn't it? That's what it's all about these days.
Yeah.
You want to get something
Distraction.
in, you distract them with some other bizarre story.
Look
and
over
you don't do
here.
that.
Look over
Yeah.
here.
What did you think of
the
the...
bloody, I thought that film was great. It's one of my favourite films from last year.
Ooh,
It
nice.
worked
Yeah.
well. It worked. It
Yeah.
was a good
It
film.
did work, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did...
And I like Trump, and Trump's not shown in a nice light there, but I thought it was great. I thought it was realistic.
It was a pretty... Yeah, it felt like a very
felt
real
real,
portrayal of
felt,
both of them, yeah.
I think you can really understand some of the ways that the language that's used, or the way that you repeat something until people believe it, or all of these Cohenisms
Yes, yeah, totally.
that I never really understood until you
Yeah.
see how Cohen employed them.
Oh, and what
Yeah.
influence
And then,
it had.
and what influence it had.
100%,
And
yeah.
then Trump's like, well, that works.
Yeah.
I'll just keep
totally.
doing that.
Yeah.
Somebody talks about Epstein, I'll just talk about Obama.
Yeah. He lived it.
Oh my God.
Well, that's where they made The Apprentice, where they brought it into the story perfectly, didn't they?
Yeah.
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 It's a great plot.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that film. That was another fun watch. Yeah. No, I enjoyed
That's
it.
And you obviously liked it too.
I loved it.
Loved
Yeah,
it.
I loved it. I thought it was so good. It
Yeah, awesome. Very
was
good.
so good.
Don't
Nice.
miss this, guys. Don't miss this.
And then it leads to this.
Oh, yes. there is a link there. You're right. There is a link there.
One leads to the other
man.
one.
Haven't seen this, but have heard awesome things about it. It looks so good. Tell us about it, Bree.
Well, I mean, as an American, this was a very hard film to watch.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So I mean, if you can imagine watching bombs explode on your home soil, like seeing the Marines on U.S. soil, for me is like really hard.
Yeah.
And so, Civil War, I said to my friend, Nay, who's also American, and I was just like, Nay, let's go see Civil War. And her and I were just like, we're walking into the theater just like, we know this is going to be hard. And the first scene of the movie is, a typical American looking blue-eyed, blonde-haired person carrying a U.S. flag, dropping a bomb off in a group full of people, like full on U.S. against U.S. people, like full on Civil War. And her and I just were like, oh my God, we're like, buckle in. You know what I mean? Because we were just like, that is so hard to watch for us.
Yeah.
And I think it would be hard for you to watch if that was if somebody was doing that in Auckland,
Yes.
because that's your land, that's your
not so bad,
place,
no.
Take it away.
They did spend a lot of time on the photography side of the story, didn't they? It was a bit.
I mean, that
was
was kind of the narrative through that is war journalism.
Yeah.
And the stories that those people carry through their lives, and how they end up being drawn to that type of career, and then how it ends up really influencing them, and how, in a negative way, how they become cynical about things, but also how the other part that was really interesting about it is that all of the things that those war journalists had seen in other countries
Yes.
that you would never expect to see in a first world country.
Yep.
They then showed
They showed that,
point after point after point the things that they had seen overseas, and they just kept me. I never thought I would see this in the United States,
Yeah.
And then you're watching the news the other day, and the Marines are in California, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like
Jeez.
this tough stuff, and to have this film come out just before people went to the polls, because it's not about any one political party, and this movie's not about any one political party. It doesn't blame anyone.
They were kind of, though. They were, obviously, Trump was the president at the end. It wasn't Trump, but they were.
They just it
In
was
the story, I felt they were saying that was Trump.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because I thought, I mean,
That was just a bit. I didn't, I felt like that was what they were trying to say. We're going to get this. That's what I felt anyway. But I don't know.
I felt like it was a warning to the United States.
It was a warning as well. I'd agree.
About becoming so polarized that it didn't really matter. They didn't spend a lot of time. The movie wasn't about what caused the conflict. The movie was about the fact that there's these two states against these two states, and there's a politician that's taken on too much control. But they didn't get into the politics around it of like whether one was conservative and one was liberal, or they didn't get into that. It was about the fact that there was a conflict, which they didn't talk much about, and then there's this.
The photographers they did concentrate quite a bit on that, didn't they?
It was sort of like the nobody knew who was fighting who.
Yes.
There was no rhyme or reason to it.
It was a bit bizarre.
And that once you get over the polarization creates the conflict, but then once the conflict happens, it just takes on a life of its own that has no meaning.
Which is probably what is going on. Which is probably quite smart in a way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're trying to say. Like once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. You can't. It's very difficult to rebuild a democracy that has trust in government, and the trust has been eroded and eroded and eroded, and people now don't trust each other. They're almost in two different camps about politics. You're just like, you can't even. In my home country, you can't even go to Thanksgiving and not get into an argument with somebody because people are so polarized. You can't have a conversation about, well, I can see that you would see something that way, but maybe you could see it this way. And that's happened over the last 10 years.
Yeah, I'm looking from a distance, though, and I can't help but think that the left-leaning ones are the ones that are overreacting a bit more. Am I wrong in thinking that?
No, I don't think you're wrong at all. The problem is that things have become so polarized that whether you're on one side or the other side, the reaction to the other side is just way over the top.
Yeah.
So if you're saying you don't believe in queer rights or something, then and you're on the conservative side, you want more traditional family values. You make a comment about traditional family values. The people on the left side are just like, I'm gonna rip your head off, and there's all this crazy stuff.
I find it's more the aggression that
That's what I mean, but it's both.
But
both sides. It's not
the
just
protesting. It is both sides.
It's not just
but
one
it's
or
the
the other.
protesting and the hatred. Like the hatred towards Trump, I feel was more strong than the hatred the other way, and that's what I've seen more than anything. Is that
I think that depends on what bubble you're in.
It probably does.
Yeah, because I mean, we see equal hate coming from a more conservative perspective, and then I've also seen hate coming from the more liberal. It's the polarization that's the problem. But it's not the side you're on.
But the aggression, the violence is coming more from the hatred towards Trump. I find the general arguments. The general arguments are pretty even, Stevens, but the aggression and the violence and the fires and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a very polarizing character.
That's coming from the left quite dramatically, I feel. I mean, he
cancelled Stephen Colbert. Like,
so
that's pretty.
They're blaming. They're saying he did it, but I don't know if he did it or not. He maybe did.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know.
There's some pretty drastic cancellations going on.
I was thinking. You know what I was thinking? Because you know how they stopped the USA funding. I wonder whether because a lot of money was going into bad mouthing each other, and the left were bad mouthing Trump and using government money, and I wonder whether that's part of it.
So it was happening the other way around.
Happening the other way around as well, but it was the left that was in at the time, and I feel that maybe that because if they're losing $40 million a year, how were they covering that for the last 3 or 4 years? They must have been covering that.
Oh, you mean
I don't know that.
CBS or
that USA. Big thing that that what's his name, Musk's closed down. Doge, yeah. A lot of that money was apparently being used for propaganda, and then recently you've seen all these shows there's been 3 or 4 of them being shut down, and I wonder whether they were actually getting money from that because how else could they keep losing $40 million a year? They must have had some backup somewhere, and I figured that was my theory, but I could be wrong. It's just a theory.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's a theory.
I only come around over the last couple of days when I come up with it. Could be wrong.
That's another heavy one. Let's look at some smut.
Dracula, yeah, there we go.
So, I love Dracula movies. Why?
Yeah.
Why do we love Dracula movies? What is our obsession with like blood sucking?
Yeah.
But he's like super hot too. He's like a super hot blood sucking demon. I don't know why.
I
Why?
don't know, we love vampires,
Is that
don't
the
we?
ultimate
We just-
bad boy or
I
something?
have heard there is some psychological thing about that, isn't there? But I have had a conversation about it once, but I was only listening. But there is something with there's a
We do love vampires.
Yeah,
Just
there's an attraction towards that, and apparently it's more of a female thing.
I would have to agree.
Yeah, no,
I would
remember-
have to agree that this is a very sexy rom-com. I mean, I wouldn't say
So what I
com,
was
it's
listening
not
to, I was right.
Yes,
then.
this is a sexy drama. This is like female porn.
Well, yeah. Well, he's going through time to find his love again, isn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he's like the ultimate bad boy.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know. I love this
And
movie.
girls
I think
always
I've
love
seen
bad
it.
Boys.
Yes.
Is your partner a bad boy?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think girls like bad boys for a good time, but not.
Right.
That's not the one you take home to mom.
Right.
You want to take one home to mom that treats you well.
Some good advice. Some good advice there.
I don't want my mom to meet Dracula. She'd be like, oh shit. Did I raise you all right? I mean, look at that guy. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that movie. I've seen this many, many times.
And Francis Ford Coppola's lovely portrayal of it is pretty good.
And I could even deal with Winona Ryder in that movie.
How was Kirsten Dunst in Civil War? I meant to ask.
I thought she was pretty good in Civil War. She was definitely.
Mucked up in Jane's film.
With Jane's
She's
film,
good in
she was
Civil War.
just freaking out all the time, and she was just over the top.
I just had to ask. I saw her on the
Yeah,
credits list, and
yeah.
we talked about it earlier, and I was like,
Yeah,
well,
well,
she
I
good,
don't-
obviously.
I don't
obviously.
dislike her as an actress.
Yeah.
She's not my favorite, but definitely Power of the Dog. She kind of ruined that movie for me. But Civil War, she was pretty good, and,
That's
and
okay.
I really enjoyed that. Her commentary on the fact that she didn't take a lot of films because she didn't want to just be a sad mom.
Yeah.
So she was like, I want a movie that's got a powerful message as an
Yeah.
older female actress, and was waiting for the right.
Awesome.
Is that why she took that role?
That's why she took that role in the end. Yeah.
That's cool. I haven't seen Dracula. I need to see this though.
But what do you think of Winona Ryder?
I love Winona Ryder. I really do. I think she's great. I think she's awesome.
Very quirky.
Yeah, she's cool.
quirky,
She's
yeah.
very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up watching a lot of her films,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Always liked her. She's
Yeah.
really cool, very pretty, and
You're saying you like Dracula films. Have you seen Shadow of a Vampire, which is a quirky little piece?
I'm pretty
Nicolas
sure.
Cage production, but he didn't act in it. He didn't act in it, but it's great.
You know, have you seen the one where it's Nicolas Cage and then it's
Oh, Renfield.
the Renfield? Oh my
seen it?
god!
no, not yet. I've heard it's good.
loved
I've
it.
heard
It
it's
was
good.
so good.
Nicholas Hoult. Yeah. And I've heard it's
That
awesome. I need to
is
see that.
such a good movie.
But there's a Shadow of the Vampire. It's a black and white thing, and it's got John Malkovich, and he goes to meet Dracula because he wants to make a film, and he tricks Dracula.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That sounds cool.
Did you like it?
I've seen that.
And then
yes.
William Dafoe plays Dracula, and he's sitting there talking to the crew.
That's right.
And then he
That is
just-
so good.
He's all of a sudden sitting there, and he just reaches up and grabs his bat and chews its head off. And I was like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
what the hell?
His hands are all creamy and stuff.
But it's like it's a film that didn't do a big thing, but I thought it was great, that film. But this is still good too.
Do you think that when those films are really good and quirky, they don't do well because they just have good marketing, or?
Possibly, yeah. And it was
Because
black
I mean,
and white.
Willem Dafoe and what was the
He
other?
was great, wasn't he? He just looked the part, didn't he? It was-
Yeah, and
it
John
kinda
Malkovich.
went-
How can
yeah.
something with John Malkovich not do well?
Maybe it's because they did go with that real Nosferatu feel from the original, didn't they?
Did you
So-
see Nosferatu?
Yeah, which I didn't like much.
I didn't like it. I think I fell asleep
neither.
halfway through.
Yeah,
I was
no, it
like,
was-
why are you
Yeah.
rehashing the same story?
No, it was bad.
Like, can we tell a different story about why is it always the same?
It's weird though, 'cause a
Two
lot
peeps.
of people,
Shadow of the Vampire,
a lot of
for
people
example.
online and stuff said it was a masterpiece. So I don't know. I struggled with that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I
Yeah.
missed something, or maybe I need to go back and try it again. But I found it very boring and slow, and it just wasn't for me. But I'm keen to see Dracula. I had the poster for this film. Someone gave me a cool cardboard cutout.
This is such
that
a
was
90s
pretty much
movie.
this poster, and I had it up in my house for ages. So I wanted to
This
see that
is
for a long
so-
time. I wanted to
and
take
Gary
that home with me
Oldman,
tonight. Yeah,
he's hot.
it's a great cast.
Next
Awesome.
up.
Very good.
So another movie that I think the soundtrack and the visuals, this is kind of another, like this could have been made by Jane Campion. This
It
movie,
could have been. I
yeah,
agree.
because it's got her flair and style about it, with the being about strong female characters. But I mean, ultimately, the movie's about a character that changes from a man to a woman, and then
there's a trans
the
theme going on almost.
all of the the
Time.
benefits that
Come with-
person has when they are a he, and then they
Yep.
become a she. That's a very non-binary thing going on in this movie. They lose that in the later part of the movie. So you get to see that juxtaposition of what it's like to
Yes.
have things
I must watch it again, 'cause it's been like
land
20
and
years. Yeah.
and
Oh,
status,
Sounds quite full on.
and
yeah.
then lose all of that.
Wow.
And it happens over like 400 years now. or something.
All the way up to the modern time.
times, yeah.
So
Wow.
as time progresses forward, they lose more of their rights, because it starts off in like the Middle Ages, where they're a man, and then ends up, like you say, 400 years forward, and
4 years,
they're a
yeah.
woman.
Wow.
And then going through looking at gender and identity through time.
Wow.
It's
that sounds
rad.
really cool.
And it
And
was in
I
the
mean,
80s,
the
wasn't it, coming?
costumes,
Costumes are beautiful.
they're beautiful, and it's probably
Wow.
shot on like film.
They'll be shot in film, definitely.
And I mean, and the music, it's just captivating. I just remember just being like gripped. I remember watching it a couple times and just being absolutely gripped, and then wanting the soundtrack.
Oh wow, I should check this out. And that's in the 500 top 500.
No, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, it is?
yeah,
It is too. Sorry.
Awesome.
yeah.
I should have known that.
Where all the movies I like are, and they were all in one row.
Should
There were
I?
all the P's and the L's and the F's.
Oh really?
I was like,
That's handy.
They were.
like
Peas and
that.
M's, right?
Fantastic. Very good. Well, the Alice makes it easy for you. There you go.
Yeah, I just have
Um,
to come and see that one line.
Yeah. Pretty much your own Bree's picks selection.
Breeze picks,
There you
yeah.
go. Maybe I should take that home with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
You say that one home.
that sounds really interesting.
I think we should do that one.
Moonlight. Okay, yeah. Well,
Oh, I
probably
haven't
goes well with that
seen
one.
this. I've heard about this.
So this is the first movie that A24 kind of.
Really, one of the first.
Was it one of their first
One of their
ones,
first.
was it?
hits,
No, I
was
don't
it,
think
or-
that's one of their first, but that's the first time I recognized. I
Right.
started to recognize what
Yep.
A24 was.
Yeah.
and what A24 was doing, and and every movie I've seen from
That's
I'm
good.
just
It's like,
constantly
yeah.
like, oh, it's A24, we're watching that.
Yeah.
They're doing
Like,
heaps, aren't they? at the
Yeah,
moment?
and they're all usually always awesome. Yeah.
yeah, well, they just give so much license to the
Yeah.
team. I mean, I don't know. Are they really are they just really good at picking really amazing directors and
Yeah, and
it's
good
kinda
scripts.
And
yeah,
good
I think they are.
scripts,
Yeah.
and
They probably
because
take a few risks and stuff, but
they take a lot of risks.
That's paying
I mean,
off. And, people want to
this
see refreshing
movie-
stuff, don't they? So
This movie came out in, I want to say this came out like 15 years
50
ago.
years or something like that, yeah, 2000s.
I mean, how often do you see movies about, young African American men dealing with their sexuality? Like, that's quite unusual,
yeah. Well, especially for 15 odd years ago or something.
And then
Yeah.
Oh, 2016. So about just nine years ago.
And I just remember watching it and just being like, wow, that's a really deep topic about something I didn't anticipate. A movie about, inner city life to take a twist to be, how do I deal with my sexuality within this hyper masculine world?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. And it just took such a twist and such a turn and into, into some really deep topics that I was like, wow, okay, 2-4. What else you got?
Nice. Yeah, no.
It's nicely shot, nicely directed. It
looks really cool. Yeah, no,
Oh, the
I've heard
cinematography is incredible.
They won the award for something, didn't it? The Academy Award
Best
for
Picture, Best
Picture,
Supporting
Best
Actor,
Supporting
and
Picture.
another one there too. Yeah, that's awesome. No, I've been meaning to see that for a long time. Had a really good buzz about it. I remember when that came out. Yeah, it was recommended to me quite early on.
Well, that's 10.
That's
Are
10.
you going to sneak another one in or not?
Well, up to you guys. This is pretty.
How long have we been going, Dave?
We're an hour, 10 minutes.
Quickly do it. Quickly do it.
It's pretty,
Quickly, but
it's pretty dark, this movie. I mean, this is like I had a really interesting story about it. That's why.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's kind of dark, so you can edit it out. But I lived in Japan, and I lived in Japan for 3 years, and I'd seen Empire of the Sun, and I thought it was I had thought it was a good movie, and that it really showed a part of history that I hadn't seen dramatized, particularly in the that part of the world. And then fast forward a couple years later, I showed it to my Japanese partner at the time, and he had no idea, as a Japanese man, that until he saw this movie, that there was genocide of the Chinese people from the Japanese. He didn't know anything about Japanese imperialism from the 1930s. So when I showed him, because this is Manchukuo, which is all how the Japanese treated the Chinese in Manchuria, and so he watched the movie, and he was just like part of his reality changed. Going back to the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Reality versus illusion. Like part of that, like the O's and the ones started to come through, like, because the Japanese specifically do not teach the imperialism of the Japanese government in the 1930s, and so that movie was the first time he had seen that.
Right.
And
so
then,
that's almost like with the Nazis. Like Germans don't mention Nazism now. Like they ban it completely. Is it almost to that
No,
level?
they've actually gone the opposite direction, which is that they spent so much time talking about Nazi Germany and Germany that people feel so bad about it, and the Japanese did the opposite.
Hide it away.
And they've been fighting over Korea and China have been fighting over that with Japan. So every time Japan redoes its curriculum, like when we redid our curriculum, the Labour government was like, maybe we should teach something about New Zealand's history in relation to the land wars. Whereas for the last, 60, 70 years, every single time the Ministry of Education there says, we're going to look at our history books, there's riots in China and Korea.
Jeez.
To get them to bring it up.
Because they refuse to put it in their history books.
Wow.
And then not long after, not long after we saw this movie, we visited Korea and China. And when we were in Korea, we went to the lots of, people would be like, where are you from? To me, I'm from America. Oh, hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. Where are you from? As they start talking to my partner in Korean. And he'd be like, no, sorry, I'm Japanese. And they'd go, and then it was awful. And then we went to the museums and stuff, and we went to the castles or the temples and everything, and you'd go in, and they'd be like, this was where our empress lived until the Japanese came over, raped and killed her. And then this is where this was until the Japanese killed them. And it was literally like just Japanese hating the whole way through. And then you're like, oh, right. And so he really didn't enjoy being in Korea, or but China was a little bit different, but Korea was definitely
How did he feel after
eye-opener.
he'd seen it? Was he disappointed, or was he happy that you showed it?
I think he was a little bit angry that that they didn't teach him that, and he wanted to know more. Yeah. And so it was like it was a very powerful experience, of what cinema can do and how movies change our perspective, and how they can really move you and really inspire you to learn more. and to be more informed and to not be taking things at face value and to think as deeply as you can about things, to get information from multiple sources and all of those things. Because I'd never really seen anybody whose mind just got like flipped from having been lied to.
Is it banned in Japan or?
No, they don't. They wouldn't ban it.
No.
They he just literally had no idea about the whole of the 1930s of what Japan did to all of Asia in the 1930s. And this movie talks about it a lot. And so it was a really powerful.
That's a good story.
Yeah, powerful movie because I just
for sure.
saw that happen for somebody else. That's happened to me watching different movies. But watching it happen to another person is, you're like, oh shit, sorry. You know? And
I'm pleased we added that in.
And you were worried that you weren't going to say something interesting. Your whole talk has been interesting,
it's been fantastic.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Seriously.
Yeah. And it kind of all like
Every
weaved in together.
Every film had a great story.
It did. No, that was absolutely fantastic.
And a different story, didn't it?
No, thank you very much for coming in and chatting movies with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
it was
if
awesome.
you ever have
Thank
time again, we'd love to get you in and maybe talk about another 10 films.
Sure, no problem.
Because there's always stuff coming out. There's always new stuff coming in.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So that was honestly cool.
No, we really, really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you so much for your time. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Bree.
Fantastic. See ya.
Hey, thank you for listening, and please consider becoming a member of our nationwide mail-out service at allisonvideoland.co.nz/become-a-member. We need your support to keep this video shop alive. Thank you.